Hi, this is Robin Good, and today I want to help you out understand which are the criteria you can use to select your best ideal hosting provider. You know, when you have to put up your website, you need a hosting provider, some place where you can put all of your files, all of your documents, videos, MP3 files, the ones you don't put on YouTube, on some kind of server. Now, there are a lot of solutions out there, and if you go on Google and you search for hosting provider, you're gonna find an infinite quantity of ads and search results that are relevant for hosting providers. So you want to make sure you have some criteria ready to use to make a selection among this. And this is what I'm going to do today. I got a little boat here on the lake of Villa Borghese here in Rome, and I'm going to take you out for a little tour and showing you in a nice outgoing way what I think are the key criteria you should use to select your hosting provider. And so number one is find out what their online reputation is. Are these serious guys, or are these guys that you cannot rely very much upon? So go find out, search in the forums, check out in the social buzz. Is anybody talking about this company? Find out. I mean, are they serious people, or are they just freaks, surfing during the day and giving you hosting providers in the canteen of their houses? You gotta find out what their reputation, their online reputation is. That is number one. Number two, I think that you may want to pay some attention to some other important factor. For example, hello guys, are you there? Are you gonna help me? My site is down. It is 2 hours that it's down and I'm losing thousands of visitors. Is there customer support working? And what do you get? Do you get phone support? Do you get email support? And which hours of the day and which days of the week do you get it? And you maybe live in a different time zone from where their offices are. So find out exactly what kind of customer support you get from them, because this is going to be very important, especially if you are a non-technical person. If you're a non-technical person, you may want still to customize very much your website, and so your webmaster may need to put up a database or create some scripts that do some specific things for you. So the type of things that these people need normally are, I don't know, having some kind of Perl support code, or having the ability to use PHP, which is another language, or even going down with MySQL database work. So remember, three technical things that may be very useful if you don't want to have just a blog is the ability to customize the technical side of your site. How do you do that? 3 elements will promise you, will guarantee that you can do that. So search for feature support on PHP, Perl, and MySQL. That's what I suggest. Oh. What else, Robin, do I need to pay attention to if I want to select a proper hosting provider? Well, one thing you want to pay attention to, not many people know that they can get from the best hosting providers, is the ability to look well inside the traffic data that is going to get on your website. So you want to make sure that your hosting provider is going to provide you with some analytics tool. Yes, there is Google Analytics, but sometimes you want to check at the source. You want to actually download the logs of your server. You want to be able, what are the data right at the source. So make sure that all of this is possible, that you can download the logs and you have access to some basic analytics information also from your hosting provider. Next, I would pay attention to something that has to do with your publishing system. You know, you may be using WordPress, Movable Type, Drupal, Joomla, or some other kind of system. Many hosting providers today offer you the ability to actually match your publishing system by selecting something that works. So no matter what you do, it's good to check whether your hosting provider can match the publishing system, the CMS, the content management system you would like to use. Do the two systems make a click? Are they able to work together? Well, check out in the features of your selected ideal hosting providers and see if they provide direct support for WordPress, Movable Type, Drupal, Joomla, or the type of publishing system you would like to use, depending on the type of site you want to build. having the hosting provider support that guarantees you that if you have some trouble with that system, they can fix you, and probably that you can find it already pre-installed on your server, which makes your life so much easier. Another element you want to pay strong attention to when you select your hosting provider is make sure that they don't pull out all the money from your little pocket once in a year. You don't want to pay advance for a whole year to a hosting provider. You want to make sure you can pay by the month, so that anytime you're not satisfied, you can stop getting service from them and move somewhere else. This is always possible. It's not something that is really something I would do lightheartedly, but you can definitely move your website anytime you want from a hosting provider to another one. So make sure you're not being billed by the year, but actually by the month. And talking about money, I think it would be essential that you also take into consideration a money back guarantee. Are they gonna give you back money if things don't work like promised? Are they gonna give you an official guarantee if there is downtime that you don't expect to have? If there are gonna be troubles, if things are not gonna work out the way you expect? Check out whether there is a money back guarantee. Something else you want to check about, and not many non-technical people are familiar with, is how much bandwidth your hosting provider is giving you. That is the amount of data that you can send in and out from your website. Anytime somebody comes to your website, they're going to suck up some data. They're going to send out from your server some bits of data to send out those pages and images. Same thing happens, but the other way around, when you upload stuff to your website server, to your hosting provider. So how much data can you send in and out? Well, some providers today say they give you unlimited bandwidth. Well, check out if there are any fine print below that, because any serious hosting provider normally gives you some very specific bandwidth limits. So check out what those are, make sure you know them. Something that I just mentioned is also your uptime. You want to make sure you don't have to recharge something, you know, and that the site is gonna go down when you least expect it. So check for guaranteed uptime of at least 99.9%, because even that 0.1% of downtime during a year, because that's where they count it on, can correspond to quite some time of your website not being accessible. So make sure uptime is guaranteed 99.9% if you're looking for a serious provider. What else? Make sure they guarantee you also to do backups. This is quite important because you may not have the resources or the team to do this yourself on a systematic periodical basis. So make sure your hosting provider, even if it costs a little more, does manual or automatic backups on a systematic periodic basis. Since you have to interact with that hosting provider, one thing you want to make sure of is also that you can access this hosting provider without having to get an engineering degree. So I hope you don't have to confront yourself with stuff that is way too technical for you. So the feature you need to be looking for is that there is an easy to use, friendly control panel, CP. They often call it. That stands for control panel. You want to have a control panel that is easy to use and which should allow you to upload files, delete files, rename files on your servers quite easily without needing to have, a certification of webmaster degree. What I have left? Well, I think it is important to keep under control how much disk space you have available. If you're getting some shared web server without a website, how much space do you have there to upload the stuff? If you're having just content and text and a few images, probably this is not an issue. But if you're going to upload over that server many video and other heavy content, then you may want to know ahead of time what is your disk space. If you have some technical people or collaborator working on your team and uploading stuff, they're going to use FTP, that's File Transfer Protocol. That is the ability to upload directly to the server some needed files. So how many FTP accesses do you have? 1, 3, 10, 20? The more the better, especially again if there are going to be the needs to give special access to some other people to bring up stuff on top of your website. Last but not least, check out for email support and management. That is, when you get a web server and a hosting provider, you certainly can also get the ability to create emails for your users. So how many emails boxes can you use? Can you filter them? Can you spam protect them? Check out what are the offerings there, and with this 14 different tips, I'm sure you can select a hosting provider with much greater awareness of what are the critical items you need to be looking at to make a relaxed, safe and reliable choice. This is Robin Good from the Lake in Villa Borghese. I hope you select the best hosting provider out there.